The Maple River Burns Club recently held its 149th Burns Night and crowned Madison Ward as the 60th Bonnie Lass. While it would be easy for scoffers to dismiss it as a popularity contest or a beauty pageant, the experience of Miss Bonnie Lass not only has an important place in society, but also teaches the court some valuable lessons.
I think I didn't realize how much of an oddity it was until I went to college and was talking to people about our town celebrations. And I would say we had Burns Night, and they're like, "Well, what's Burns Night?" And I would explain it to them because I just thought everyone knew what Burns Night was, and everybody had a Miss Bonnie Lass in their town. That was just so normal for us. And so I think looking back on it, it's just special to have a town that has that much heritage involved in its traditions.
Yeah, the tea that we went to that year was so incredible. And it was my first real experience, I would say, interviewing and being asked questions that, I didn't have formulated answers to. And so that was a really good experience for me. We had questions about, the world. There were ethical questions. I remember being asked my opinion on something. It was such an adult event, and it was such a good preparation for, interviews to come, and just a really good experience, and all of the class being together and kind of talking about their excitement and being excited for each other. It was such a great, it's such a great memory.
Miss Bonnie Lass means to be an advocate and an ambassador from Mapleton. Talk about our unique town and our celebration, and be a representative of the Burns Club, our Scottish heritage, and just put a good foot forward out to other communities to show how unique and special Mapleton is.
It brings out self-confidence in them. And I love to see that in kids that age. Sometimes you find kids that are very self-confident, and sometimes you don't. And I look at my own two girls, and I see the difference. But I see what self-confidence can do. And so, to me, I think that's a very important thing for them to learn and to take forward into the workforce. Being in HR, Megan always says to me, Mom, that's one of the things I look for when I'm hiring. How involved in their community, wherever it is, were they? And I go, oh, well, that's nice to know. So I think it's still something that's very important for the girls. I think it's good for them to know the history of where they are, whether they were born here or they just moved here, to know the city, the town that they live in. It's a small town, and it has roots. A lot of times you go to a big city, it has roots, but it has many roots, too many to ever know. We're in a small town, there's not that many.
We have met some other people on the courts from surrounding areas have just been so nice, and you get to learn about, like, Montgomery has Kolachki days, which is Czech, and that is so cool to learn about, and you get to try the Kolachki, which is fun, and you get to try new things.
Yeah, just seeing the different like how each town has a different heritage, and seeing that and learning about it, that's really cool, and seeing how people are really proud of it, and they dress like how we dress and all that stuff.
We also did some bonspiels, did some welcoming at bonspiels, and then we cut the ribbon to Country Neighbors, which is the Beacon now. And I think Joanna and I were at a softball tournament, but Janelle cut a ribbon for the compost pile, right? I mean, all these beautiful, glamorous things that you get to do, worked at a turkey dinner, those things. It's public service, but you're just so proud to be doing it. And I love looking now, like, on the Bonnie Lass Facebook page where it shows what all the girls are out doing. I'm like, that is really powerful, whether you realize it at that time or not. But
well, 60 years of having a community queen is a is a quite a feat. And again, I think a larger one is that we've had this continuous celebration since the 1850s, and then now we've added this piece to it. And again, 60 years from now, or maybe 40 years from now, when they celebrate 100, we've added the technology of the new school. We've added, bringing back some video. We're in a beautiful auditorium. What will change from then will be interesting. Not that I'm going to be around, but what people are saying in 40 years from now when it's our 100th queen that's being crowned. But again, I'll go back to where the values of that experience is I think what's critical to be thinking about, that they those things haven't changed.
Showing up every year, we hope, is sending the message to people that the experience itself is one thing, but what comes afterward, and I think we're conveying that to you. This is really this is the good stuff right here, the friendship. So I think by showing up and hopefully just modeling to people the kind of friendship that we've developed out of it is inspiring to others to stay active and to get active.
To be part of Miss Bonnie Lass over the 60-year tradition, I think, is a really honor. Not everybody gets to be chosen just because you go out. It's really important to be able to represent your community and give back to your community. Not alone to the 2 years that I was involved with it, the year that I ran, and then the year after, to hand off my crown, but the last 10 years that I've been involved in being the Queen's Committee and part of the Burns Club and the Burns Committee. It's really important to give back to their community, like I had said, but to be involved in that, it's a sense of family, essentially. You have the sense of community, sense of family, and those people that are always there year after year. It's like you're having a big family reunion each year, and to see all those queens, you have the connection, you have the same shared experiences of going through the tea process, going through the interview process, the parades, and you have all this, and everybody's years is unique and different, but we all have that same shared experience.
It is hard to put yourself out there and to have the self-confidence to do that. But the experience that you gain from even the interview process is invaluable. That's the one thing that I took from it, was when I went to interview for college or to interview for scholarships or for jobs, Miss Bonnie Lass was the first interview that I had ever been through. And so you just take that with you, and that confidence you gain from having experienced it. I mean, that's a big piece of it. And the other part is you are then a part of a tradition that is, how many years have we had it? 149 years. And Miss Bonnie Lass, 60 years of that. You become a part of that tradition, and it might not seem like a big deal now to you, but it certainly will.
This activity was made possible by an artist grant provided by the Prairie Lakes Regional Arts Council from funds provided by the McKnight Foundation.